What better place to spend a Sunday afternoon than Carisbrook in Dunedin as Hannah's Super 12 action for round 8 comes to a close. There's a huge and expectant crowd at the new look House of Pain to witness the Otago Highlanders extend an amazing home sequence. Standing in their way, the Bull Allen Brigade, who enjoyed semi-final action so much last year, they want a taste of it again. Now both teams are poised for just that, places in the semi-final, and as we take a look at the points table, we see the Hurricanes in 5th spot. If they win today, they move up to 2nd, equal with the Sharks, providing they get the maximum 5. The Highlanders just a point behind. If they get 5, they move up into 3rd spot. Now the Highlanders have had the succession of home games which have been so profitable for them, but that ends here today. Then they travel, play Canterbury Crusaders next Friday night at Lancaster Park, and then they head overseas to Australia, then South Africa. The Hurricanes, they've got a mixture of home and away games, and that match, that last one against the Auckland Blues, how vital that could be at Athletic Park. The histories in Super 12 are quite interesting. The Otago Highlanders, they finished 8th back in 1996, but they lost ground last year. But this year under Tony Gilbert, what a performance it has been to this point. And the Hurricanes, well, 1996, they finished 9th, but they were the real improvers last year, moving up to 3rd, beaten 33-20 by the Brumbies in that semi-final. Well, there's a great crowd in on the terraces there. And the conditions, well, it's just a little overcast at the moment, and there is a breeze blowing from the south. Now, just how much of a factor that is, we'll have to assess throughout the afternoon. It's the match of the round. It's the one we've been waiting for. Let's wait no longer and join our commentators perched high above the corporate boxes there, Greg Cooper, and with him, Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Smithy, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, here come the Hurricanes. And they're quickly on to Carisbrook for what should be a classic confrontation this afternoon. And the Hurricanes get 3 key players back from injury. Alex Tiatia returns to the left wing. John Preston resumes at halfback in place of Richard Jarman. And inspirational captain Bull Allen takes his place in the front row. David Holwell has retained his number 10 jersey ahead of Stephen Basham, while coach Frank Oliver has again opted to go with 2 open side flankers in Leslie and Anglesey. Bull Allen missed the last game, and he's back this afternoon for this most important match. David Holwell, who created a big impression in his first match, Greg Cooper.
Yeah, certainly. He kicked his goals. He was brought in for the occasion. He started a little bit shakily, got a kick charge down, but then he finished with a very, very good haul of points in that match.
Stand by now for a big Carisbrook welcome for the Highlanders. Like the Hurricanes, the Highlanders can welcome back a key man in their captain, Taine Randall. Been out of action since the 2nd week of the competition, and Randall's recovery coincides with the loss of Isitola Maka, out with an ankle injury. Much has been said about the young front row of Muse, Hoft and Oliver, and the battle with the 3 All Blacks this afternoon will be a real feature. Jeff Wilson in jersey number 14. Now there is a big surprise, and he's going to play on the right wing.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting call, having Jeff Wilson there. Brendan Laney, as we know, is an outstanding footballer, but I think Brendan Laney's best suited to the wing, and Wilson giving a roving licence at the back may be better advised, but who knows? Tony Gilbert is known for his tactical appreciation of the game, and it's a move that he's obviously decided to try, and hopefully from the Highlanders' point of view, it'll work.
Filo Tiatia waits for the Hurricanes. Referee Paul Honus of Canterbury, Steve Walsh and Alan Riley on the sidelines. And away we go in Carisbrook with Tony Brown the kickoff. Early possession grabbed by the Hurricanes with Filo Tiatia. John Preston just back from injury. Holwell shifts it on. Urumia nudging ahead for Tiatia, but it's too far. The opening kick from Alama Urumia just half a metre too far. Quickly thrown here by the Highlanders. Shifted across to the left wing side. Jeremy Stanley takes it in. Now duggan away for Brown. Leslie with a nudge for Wilson. Wilson and Cullen. Cullen first there, but Wilson's got him. Pops it back for Norm Hewitt, who's done well to get back. And the ball tipped down by the Highlanders. Referee playing an advantage. Well, didn't Norm Hewitt do well to get across?
Yes, but the Highlanders have shown, haven't they, that they're going to move the ball around. Leslie deciding it was on to chip over the top, the right decision, and they don't want to mix it with the big forwards of the Hurricanes up front. But here's an interesting part of the game, the scrum time.
Driving away was Tiatia, struggles an extra metre. John Preston waits. Holwell standing just out from his 22, gets the first kick away. He'll had nightmares about the first kick in New Plymouth, but the first one in Carisbrook goes well.
Yes, definitely, it's exactly what he wanted to do, just to define touch, relieve the pressure. But Grant, what a great start to the match. Both sides prepared to move the ball, but I think the Hurricanes will look to try and get into the Highlanders half. They have a slight breeze behind them in this first half.
John Leslie's been in scintillating form. Taine Randall off the top, but it wasn't straight. Yes, Greg, when these two sides met last season, as we have another look here, and that's not straight. 14 tries in the match.
Yes, and most of them went to the Hurricanes, so the Highlanders will want to make amends for that.
Big front row effort there by the Highlanders. Put the Hurricanes under pressure. Here's Laney coming up. The nudge ahead from Brendan Laney. It's not a bad one either. He's chasing along with Stanley. Cullen gets the big clearance in as he's thumped to the ground, and that was a wonderful clearance by Christian Cullen.
Yeah, good commitment there from Jeremy Stanley. Nothing in that one. He was committed, but as you said, Grant, outstanding play from Christian Cullen.
Early honours in the scrum going to the Highlanders. Timmins takes it down. Popped up for Oliver. 15 out from the 22. Stanley on the charge.
No, you came up too early. Number 12, you came up.
Against Jason O'Halloran. Offside.
Shot, fellas. Two-handed take. I said hold. You came up. Yeah.
Yep. Well, at the moment, the breeze isn't really a factor. It's not as stiff as it was about 5 minutes ago. The front that is expected to come over to Dunedin is actually eventuating. It's quite overcast and gloomy overhead. Interesting to see the tactics early on from the Highlanders to move Cullen from side to side. Both corners they've picked him out. Both corners they've caught him.
Yeah, wise move not to kick to Christian Cullen. We know he's so dangerous, and very astute kicking so far from Laney and Leslie, just kicking to space.
Tony Brown, first penalty attempt, struck it beautifully, and the Highlanders take the early lead at Carisbrook by 3 points to 0.
Well, it's the ideal start for Tony Brown. He's certainly got his supporters here. And we saw Simon Cullen in his last match play well for the Highlanders. So there's pressure on Brown, and he's responded well.
Frank Oliver there, having a long chat before the game with his son Anton, of course, who's in the middle of the front row for the Highlanders as David Holwell restarts. Dropped to the ground by the Highlanders, but they can recover it. Duggan to Brown. And he gets good distance, Tony Brown, but it's bounced back in field. And now Cullen gets an opportunity to run with the ball. Awkward pass for Iramia. He runs into a solid unit of Leslie and Kronfeld. Not too many would get through there.
Your ball, take it in yellow. More before winter grounds.
Yeah, very good hustling defence here on Iramia. Iramia took it in, Leslie went, Kronfeld went, and yes, that was a collapse. More good defence.
Don't crowd the mark. Go back, yellow. Go back.
Highlanders have had the better of the first 5 minutes.
Yep. Just stay there,
Alan Hewitt, Slater against Hoft, Oliver and Muse. Classic confrontation.
Break up, don't stand on anybody.
And this is all before the ball's gone in.
Yes, and the old tactics there, though, of the trying to gain superiority. The scrum really had disintegrated, but the Hurricanes were keen to carry on and just put a little bit of dominance onto the Highlanders.
We're hitting holes, fellas, we're hitting holes. Wait for the calls. Ready, gauge. Come on, half, let's go. Back up.
Now Randall shifts it away to Duggan, who's got great pace.
Get off him,
Leslie makes the tackle on Laney coming up from fullback, but they've recycled it well. Now Brown. Duggan, not such a good pass in front of Leslie. Wilson and Talia. And that came off the foot of Alex Tiatia.
Your side, okay? I'll talk to you.
That move there of Brendan Laney's just run a little bit away from the defence. He needs to attack on top of the defence, so if he breaks, he'll have more opportunity to go the distance.
Well claimed by John Blakey. Anton Oliver, who's had an outstanding season so far. Anglesey tackles him. Brown shifts it on to Alatini. Defence coming up very, very smartly indeed.
Here it is, Yellow's got it.
Could be on the Hurricane side, this.
Fellas, you went backwards, Blue. Scrum it. Don't be caught with the ball.
Yeah, good defence there by the Hurricanes, but the Highlanders really played into it there. They were, look, you'll see here, just running across field there. O'Halloran always had him. There was no injection from the extra man, so the Highlanders need to straighten their attack up.
Hold on, guys. No lock, fellas.
Looks like John Blakey a bit slow to get back to the scrum.
Yep, got the signal. Just wait there, wait there. Ready, gauge. Stay on, Blue, stay on, Blue. Hold there.
Tiatia picks and goes, gets through the tackle of Kronfeld. Look at the power here from Filo Tiatia.
There it is.
Now he leaves it behind. Preston, waiting to dig it out. Has a look. And this bounces up nicely for Brendan Laney. Looking to counter-attack. Randall brings it out. This is good stuff from the Highlanders. Supporters there from Carl Hoft. 15 out from the 22. They passed up the opportunity to kick it. Now Brown, he's outside the 22 and he keeps it fairly low. And they finally did get their clearing kick away.
Yes, it was well recovered by the Highlanders, but they must watch Filo Tiatia around the scrum there. Tiatia is strong, and the Highlanders have a steady scrum, so they must utilise that and nail Tiatia. Look at Laney here. Jinx does well. Randall sees the gap, and it really was very well recovered by the Highlanders.
Hewitt finds Taylor just near the halfway line. Holwell waits as the Hurricanes get a good drive going. Now they release for Preston. Holwell shifts on to O'Halloran. Eremia, oh boy, that's solid defence, but they can get it back, the Hurricanes. So Holwell starts again. Now Cullen. Basically back where they started, near halfway.
Come up, your scrum, Blue, taking the goal.
And that's another turnover. Both sides guilty of losing the ball in the mauls.
Yeah, Cullen here runs in, but you'll notice there's a few forwards hanging around out there. The Hurricanes must try and take the Highlanders up the middle, because at the moment all the Highlanders are doing is just spreading out wide and covering the backs.
No calls, the guys, no calls. You go and you crouch and wait, and I'll call it in from there. All right?
Jeff Wilson out on the right wing side against Alex Tiatia.
Ready, gauge.
Tactical change made by Tony Gilbert. Now it's handed away by Randall, and a rather innocuous kick made by Rhys Duggan. There's Tony Gilbert and Isitola Marker, who'd love to be out there, I'm sure.
Yes, he's had a good season, hasn't he, Isitola Marker, so far, and Tony Gilbert has really got the side going well, along with Kevin Gloag, the back coach, and the opposite there, Frank Oliver, looking a little bit pensive, no doubt realising the importance of this match.
Hewitt again goes for Taylor, keeps the ball up fairly high, Glenn Taylor. Now he finds support from Anglesey, 10-metre line in Hurricanes territory. Holwell.
Yeah, you're on.
Got the breeze behind him in the first half, David Holwell. Down as far as Laney.
Holding Blue.
Laney's kicked down as far as Glenn Taylor. And has he knocked it on? Yep, he has.
Not wrong.
Well, Taylor there in a good position. Yeah, no, I thought he may have been hard done by, but I think his hand just tipped it off his knee as well. So great opportunity here for the Highlanders.
A little bit of light drizzle around so far as Randall gives it to Duggan, a Hurricane in his first season in 1996. Ball pops back nicely for Case Muse, who arrived at the right time. There's the 22-metre line.
Holding on.
And he didn't let the ball go. Case Muse.
Can't wait for your support play to arrive. Here's your mark.
Yeah, Muse just a little bit isolated there. The Hurricanes were there and the Highlanders weren't in support, so he did hold on to it. So quite rightly penalised by referee Honus.
Mark Leslie and Filo Tiatia going to the back of the line out with Kronfeld and Randall. Looks like it's going to be Leslie, who does a lot of jumping near the back. Pass delivered up to Uramia. Pushes Brown out of the way.
Come out, cut it out. The ball must be there. Both players couldn't move.
Would have struggled to have got that back because you saw that Josh Kronfeld had managed to turn him.
Yes, Kronfeld's can be very destructive in that tackle situation, doing the job particularly well there. But nice to see Alama Uramia running hard, running onto Tony Brown. We know Tony Brown's a very good defender. Uramia running very hard at him.
Here's Tiatia on to Umaga. First time he's touched the ball in the match, I think. Carrying on is Taylor, and he lays it back for Preston. Now Bull Allen struggles his way past, and even at Carisbrook he gets the call, Bull Allen. Preston has to change his mind. Referee playing an advantage here. Uramia away for O'Halloran. And he'll come back and take the penalty. Offside play against the Highlanders. They were too flat.
Yes, they were a little bit flat there, and the referee judged them to be offside, but there was a dangerous part there for the Highlanders. The Hurricanes were getting that roll in the drive, that pick up and go, and Allen right in amongst it. They must be very offensive in their defence around the rucks and the mauls.
Cheers.
Gordon Slater's got a big battle on his hands today. He's up against Carl Hoft, and Smithy, you might be sitting in the rain at the moment, are you?
Thanks very much, Grant, for confirming it. I could have told you that anyway. It's starting to rain all right, and it's looking very gloomy, so that will be a factor. The ball will start to get greasy. Retention of that ball could become just that little bit more difficult. This is interesting, Coops, to see David Holwell kicking instead of John Preston.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Holwell, we know, is an outstanding goal kicker, but I thought they may have given it to the pressure man, Preston.
Here's Holwell's first kick. He's got it up really high, and it's a good one. So a good start for both goal kickers. Tony Brown and David Holwell have kicked a penalty apiece.
Yeah, as Ian Smith was saying there, it's interesting to see the decision for Holwell. We know how good Holwell is, but I believe this is the first time Holwell's played on Carisbrook in front of a big crowd like that. So just showing the guy has got good nerve. And it was talk before the match, maybe Preston, he's played in these pressure situations, but Holwell's certainly doing the job.
Good kick out from Brown. Claimed by Glenn Taylor.
Hold there. We're watching on the blind side.
Fascinating contest between these packs.
Back off one, back off one. One block, way to go.
Edging across field, not making any ground at the moment.
Get out, 8. Thank you.
Taylor's still got it. Now the Hurricanes can find him.
Keep it up, Blue.
Muscling it a few extra metres through Hewitt. And suddenly it looks like it might have been turned over. Yes, it is. So Duggan to Brown.
Got them all, fellas, we've got them all.
Big defence from both sides so far. Now Duggan once more for Laney. Alatini. Cullen's read this pretty well. Oh, he slipped away from Stanley. Then he fires it in field to Anglesey. And they can reset it. John Preston. Holwell has moved back well inside the 22 and forced onto the left boots.
There's been some astute kicking, as I mentioned, by the Highlanders here. Here we see Stanley just chip through into space. Cullen reads it well. Does a little bit of a jink here, but Randall comes in. So it's clever kicking at the moment, not kicking to the man, kicking to space.
Oliver's throw is it's astray. It's been grabbed by Taylor.
The ball's gone.
So that's a turnover. As Bull Allen rips it away, they're not making much progress. Ball's been shunted out of the Hurricanes' grasp by some big defence. So they've got it back finally. Brown has a look for the gap. Middleton dragged down by O'Halloran. They're going to keep shifting it towards Wilson's wing. Now Wilson on Talia. He's certainly got some wheels, Alex Talia, and it'll be interesting to see if Jeff Wilson can get round him.
It's a good clash, isn't it? Wilson and Talia. Yeah, you're right. Talia is very, very quick. Wilson backing himself, having a go, good to see. And Leslie fires a pass here. Tiatia was always inside him. Tried the fend, well covered up by Tiatia.
Hurricanes down, Hurricanes across. That's good.
Tipped by Leslie untidily. Through comes Middleton. So both sides struggling at their own line-out throw.
The advantage offside.
Offside against the Hurricanes. He's playing advantage here as Randall sets it. Now Duggan again. Brown to Leslie.
Here it is, back off.
His brother Martin helped to drag him down. Here they go again. Brown, a little kick. Cullen getting back. And it's all over the place.
22,
and it's a 22. It was there for the taking.
No. Goal.
Well, when I saw this, I thought Brown had made a mistake, but the Hurricanes collided in goal here, Tiatia and Cullen, and it may have come off Josh Kronfeld and gone forward.
Most of the early pressure in the match coming from the Otago Highlanders. 3-all in the game, though. Holwell goes with the long one. Brown and Laney together. They could set up anything from here. He goes with Wilson. Nothing much on for Jeff Wilson. Back after it goes Preston. Cullen. Crowd felt it was a forward pass. Laney can find spaces. Down to Filo Tiatia, who's got back. Now Holwell, thinking about the counter-attack. Decides to let rip down as far as Randall, who's got Tiatia breathing down his neck. Support coming, though, from Duggan. In fact, they're closing them now pretty quickly here. And now the Highlanders forwards have to chug back.
Come up, fellas.
And they'll be pretty pleased to see the arm extended.
Oh, they're very lucky there, the Highlanders, because all the forwards were in front there. And there's a little bit of a muck up there in the decision-making. And you see all the Hurricanes there, not too many Highlanders. Very fortunate Highlanders.
Wait for the calls. Ready?
Possession's been with the Highlanders so far. And so's the territory by even more. The ball's not out, and that'll be a penalty.
You came round, your feet were in front of the ball, you were offside. Where you go? Back 10.
Yeah, Preston probably thought that the ball had gone out, and unfortunately from his point of view, referee judged it differently.
Line-out win for Brendan Timmins. Taine Randall back in the action today after missing about a month of play. Brown held up by Tiatia. Kronfeld is there as usual.
Here it is, here it is.
Takes it to ground, but he might have perhaps fallen the wrong way. Yes, he has. So the Hurricanes have it now. Cullen quickly across to Umaga, looking for space, but Alatini has him very smartly.
Holding on. Back 10.
Quickly
back
taken
10, advantage.
by Duggan. Duggan for the corner. Well, he gave it a go. O'Halloran and Cullen. He was a lone soldier, Rhys Duggan.
Oh, that's good play by Rhys Duggan. The opportunity was there. He backed himself, but look at Cullen and O'Halloran. They always had him. But it was clever thinking by that man, number 9, Rhys Duggan.
Rain's quite steady, as you can see now. Just about halfway through the first half. Christian Cullen back at fullback.
It's gone, it's gone.
Preston gets an untidy one, and he scrambles it out.
Well, this now becomes a very critical line-out. Highlanders will want to take it in and possibly get a drive on, get the Hurricanes going back, and then unleash their back line.
Oliver finds Timmins. Duggan now, Oliver standing off. Lays it back nicely for Duggan. Brown to Leslie. Again, spotted by his brother.
Scrum it.
John Leslie takes the ball up. He's going to run into his brother, Martin, a lot this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. There it is. There's Martin Leslie over the top. John Leslie taken in the tackle. Martin Leslie always present at the breakdown. John Leslie always has the ball in his hand.
winger, back winger.
Randall now dug in. Danger time here for the Hurricanes. Once again running out towards Wilson's wing. Why wouldn't they? They put him out there. Now Leslie almost got through. And he's lost it forward, John Leslie.
No, lost forward, Blue. Yellow scrum.
Well, if they go to put him on the right wing, it stands to reason the ball's going to head that way.
That's right. Possibly the ball here. The ball just falls out of John Leslie's hands there. There's a little bit of drizzle. No doubt that ball's going to get greasy until the players adjust to it and get used to the conditions.
No locks in. Just casual.
Very similar conditions to those we encountered on Friday night at Pukekohe, where we had light drizzle throughout the game. Preston, challenged by Kronfeld, down as far as Laney, looks across to see Stanley out on the left wing side. Now frees up Wilson, gets past Bull Allen. Good run by Jeff Wilson. 20 metres out from the line, Duggan brings it out for Kronfeld. Now Brown. Big defence from the Hurricanes. Now it's laid back. Drop kick from Laney, and through it goes.
Well, Brendan Laney had 2 drop goal attempts against the Chiefs here a few weeks ago. Unsuccessful with those. This one he had time. Didn't quite hit it right, but 3 points is enough. A happy man running back.
Well, there weren't too many other options available for Brendan Laney. He was back there. The rest of the back line was out of alignment, and he did the right thing.
Yeah, I think the Highlanders have, Tony Brown there a couple of times have had a dab. Not too many options open there. The defence of the Hurricanes has always been there, so the option taking's been pretty good so far.
Breezy ball. Oliver goes in after it. There for Reece Duggan. Ducks under the tackle of Norm Hewitt. Buys a little extra time here. Wilson to halfback. To Brown. Tiatia again has stayed back. He's got Cullen out in centre field. The temptation for Filo Tiatia is to have a go. Then he finds Alex Talia in the gap. Talia's a danger man. Ripped off him by Barrett. Now Preston. If they can shift this, they must go in. Umaga, O'Halloran, and Cullen for the corner. And he's in. Christian Cullen comes up for the first try.
Well, that's an outstanding try by the Hurricanes here. The ball probably should have gone out in the defensive situation, but Talia did well to run off Tiatia. I think he went the wrong way here, but then they were good enough to get the ruck, had the backs lined out, and just distributed it along the line here. Halloran, the short ball to Christian Cullen. He dived early, and he scored.
It was a question of getting under the tackle of Brendan Laney, and he just made it. So Christian Cullen with his 4th try in Super 12 1998. And David Holwell with the difficult kick. Coming round but too late.
Yeah, here we see the distribution here. Uramia to Umaga, short ball from O'Halloran to Cullen, and as you said, Grant, he dived under the tackle, scored a very good try.
Well, this is new territory, isn't it? The first time in a month the Highlanders look at the scoreboard and they're behind. What do they come up with? They have to reply quickly.
Well, they've had the better of the game so far. It's tipped back and well read by Kronfeld. He knew what was going to happen. Anglesey directed it straight in, and here's Anton Oliver. Straight into Tana Umaga. This could have fired them up a bit, the Highlanders.
Get out, 14!
Ball is there.
Hands off, back off.
Trying to suck as many of the Hurricanes forwards in as they can before they whip it wide. The back line is lined. And
Come over and kill this.
Not required because it's been killed.
Easy. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, good solid forward play there by the Highlanders. You look at Anton Oliver, he picks it up, he goes straight through the middle, pushes off Barrett, goes into Umaga, hits him hard. And that's excellent play there by the Highlanders.
Well, hasn't he been in outstanding form so far this season? still just 22 years of age. A man who made his first class debut as a 17-year-old for Marlborough. Chip off the old block, do you think? Frank Oliver there, and Joe Stanley in the background, of course, his son Jeremy playing in the Highlanders this afternoon.
This is a reasonably difficult kick for Tony Brown. Their breeze has picked up a bit, so you have to kick it pretty accurately. Yeah, outstanding kick by Tony Brown.
Isn't he a very good goal kicker, Tony Brown? So the Highlanders are back in front with the Brown penalty. Holwell's drop kicks have been very good so far, just perhaps a little far that time, but again the ball lost forward, this time by the Hurricanes.
No advantage.
Well, the greasy ball is proving to be a real problem at kick-off time.
Yeah, that's right. I think the Highlanders, they've had about 3 kicks to them, and they haven't been able to take it yet, so they must clean that area up. They cannot afford to let the Hurricanes get the ball deep inside their own half.
Stay back, stay back, stay back.
Duggan, Brown decides to go for a run. That's a brave move from inside the 22. They've recovered it pretty well. And John Leslie with a wobbly old kick down to Cullen. Now this is where the last, or the only try was born, so with Tiatia bringing it back.
Here it is, back up, Blue. Back 12, Blue.
Preston has a look to see where to go. Cullen away for Talia. Standing still though, no progress to be made there. Preston, Cullen, Eremia.
Here it comes.
Happy to go from phase to phase. Holwell looks inside for O'Halloran, whips it away to Cullen. Cullen easily away. Now it could open up, and he's lost the greasy ball forward.
Lost forward.
That might have been interesting.
Yes, well, that ball must be very greasy, because you don't often see a man like Christian Cullen lose it without any pressure on him. Here he goes, looking for the gap, and it just falls out as he goes to pass it. Big hit from Stanley as well.
Stand up, halfback's going off. Stand up, halfback's going off.
Problem here for Rhys Duggan, and Byron Kelleher will have to replace him. Well, the halfbacks are under siege at the moment, aren't they? With Justin Marshall out, we hear that Mark Robinson got quite a severe knee injury this morning. Junior Tanu, who's only just come back.
I don't think you'd want to be wearing that number 9 in New Zealand rugby at the moment, granted. Yeah, all the top line players, halfbacks are coming in for a few problems, and there's no doubt worried man John Hart there. His halfbacks are dropping all around him.
Wait a minute, guys, we've got a forward coming on for yellow. Okay, yep, thank you.
Dion Waller is coming on for Kevin Barrett.
You all set, fellas?
So Smiley Barrett leaves.
Ready?
Just a straight sub, it would seem.
Yeah, I'd say this has been an indication of the weather. Waller a bit more of a tighter forward, just to try and add a little bit more power for the Hurricanes.
Yellow 8.
Here's Carl Hoft backing his way in. Oliver goes another metre or so. Kelleher, the new man. Now Brown delivers away to Alatini. Flipped on by Laney to Wilson, but he lost it forward.
15, went forward.
This is Rhys Duggan, nasty knock to the shin by the looks of things.
Ready? Hold on, Blue, hold on, Blue.
Hurricanes with Dion Waller now, as Holwell's kick is fielded by Wilson, still in. Now Laney looks across towards Stanley and kicks off the side of the boot. Wilson plays beautifully and couldn't find Laney, so Talia brings it back. For Holwell, he's flattened.
No advantage. No
and
advantage.
there was no advantage. And he's gone back for lost forward.
Well, the conditions will dictate that there won't be pretty rugby today, but we're certainly seeing intense rugby. Commitment there from Jeff Wilson, and also commitment there from Tony Brown on David Holwell.
Ready? Engage.
Here's Tiatia making the meters. Jabbed up by Preston. Clever kick here by John Preston, but he might have just pushed it a bit far. And forced by Laney for the 22.
22.
Let's have a look at Laney. Did he ground it here? He looked up pretty quickly. Oh, yeah, that's enough. Not a lot in it, but that's enough.
Hurricanes have scored the only try, but they haven't spent a lot of time down near the 22. Holwell. No head-eye tackle, says referee Honus. John Preston unsure, there's no one there to give it to. And he makes a good kick. As Brown is back there with Laney. And Laney's kick is not one that he'll remember.
Yeah, not one that he'll remember, but they've come into trouble when they have missed touch, and that time they found it. There, Leslie goes high. Referee said, no, that was fine. It wasn't around the head, it was up around the shoulders, and he was right there, so he called it as he saw it.
Norm Hewitt against Anton Oliver. Classic confrontation amongst the hookers.
Stay in the 15, fellas. Stay in the 15.
They go short, and it's not too good. It's misjudged, and it goes to John Blakey.
It was played by 2 yellow on the deck.
That's offside
Against them, not against you, against 2 yellow.
It was played on the ground, in fact, so it wasn't against Bull Allen at all. Oliver's going to throw quickly, finds Taine Randall. Ripped away by Glenn Taylor.
Offside, no. No, you weren't. You've come through on their side. Where you go, 10.
Well, I don't know whether he agrees with that decision.
No, he wasn't very happy was he? But he was certainly offside, and the referee who was right there and saw him.
Kevin Barrett looks like he's grabbed a couple of stitches. Randall again doing good work towards the back. Oliver comes in,
hands off,
makes a few meters. Muse inside the 22. Now Brown, Alatini. Kronfeld right there as usual. And look at the good work here by Josh Kronfeld.
Here it comes.
Plenty of hands in there. Brown, Leslie. Jabs it away for Wilson. Cullen gets there first. Kicks it straight down to Laney though, near halfway. Counter-attack chance. Laney and Umaga challenges.
Off blue advantage yellow.
Tiatia puts a big hoof on this. John Leslie way back. And he'll have to kick this, he's got no option.
Well done there by Filo Tiatia. John Leslie certainly had to do the job, get back. Here we see on the replay, Cullen, like a good fullback, coming across, clearing. And then after that, Filo Tiatia showing his skills and kicking it deep into the Highlanders territory.
Move down.
There's Dion Waller, the replacement player for Kevin Barrett. Hewitt looking to find Taylor.
Inside shoulder. You were using inside arms against you. You tap with the outside arm, use your inside arm as support.
Anton wants the ball. He didn't get it though.
Get off him, yellow! Get off him!
Now Kelleher. Kronfeld dragged down by Preston. Middleton hands again to Kelleher. Getting into the action is Stanley. Good strength shown by Jeremy Stanley.
Tidy it. Your scrum blue.
Yes, it's going to be very physical in the conditions, and players like Alatini may not see the ball as much as he would normally see in the drier conditions. So his job will be to take it up and to tackle strongly.
In terms of the injuries, Reece Duggan looks like he's gone for the day. He's got a huge compression bandage on the shin, but Barrett will be back. They're working quickly on him.
Play on, then go forward.
Leslie whips a loose ball away as far as Laney. Laney straight down to Cullen. Not a great move, but he's got all 15 in front of him, of course. And the first one gets him, Josh Kronfeld.
Play 15, thank you.
Preston.
Yeah, 14's on.
Laney across with Umaga starting to range up and challenge. Did well. Now Stanley lost it forward, and they'll come back for the scrum.
It's my blue. No. Just watch it there.
Yeah, well, Umaga going up, and the crowd weren't too happy with this. Just a slap around the face. Referee saw it, told him to keep it down, but I think Brendan Laney might be better served to kick the ball out in situations like that, right behind his forward, slippery conditions. Now the Hurricanes have a chance.
Tiatia tries to hand off Kelleher. It's quite a big man for a halfback, is Byron Kelleher. Taylor gets in the road. Preston has to go after it.
Here it comes.
It's there on the Hurricane side of the ruck.
Turning a ruck into a wall. You can't pick it up. Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, referee Hona saying there that it was a ruck and you turned it into a maul. So
just a bit of bring it to your attention. Number one just went to use the foot on some guy's hand. He missed.
Okay.
Okay, one blue. We'll just have a chat to him.
Right. Cheers. Yep, thanks. Hey, blue, just blue one. Just watch where you're putting your feet. Okay, so you're getting close to a hand. No silly stuff, all right? Okay.
he was hiding there, wasn't he, Grant? He kept his head down, and I have known he was getting close to an indiscretion.
Just a friendly word there from the referee. She saw the right foot go in, and as Steve Walsh said, he missed.
Yellow. Wait. I want a gap. Here's your mark here, and you're standing virtually on it.
Interesting move here, the Highlanders with Carl Hoft standing at halfback. Well claimed there by John Blakey. That's a strong challenge by Blakey. First up is Oliver. Now Kelleher, low to Brown, did well to hang on. Kronfeld into Tiatia.
Hands off. Scrum it, you went backwards. Your scrum, yellow.
The outstanding tackle there by Filo Tiatia. It's offensive tackling. Brown inside to Kronfeld. Tiatia waiting, drives him back. Scrum put into the Hurricanes.
Engage.
He's having a very strong season, Filo Tiatia.
Screwed, fellas, screwed. I had no communication, so I called engage. All right. Yeah, sweet. Just wait. Ready, gauge. Back you go.
Solid scrum here from the Hurricanes.
That's it.
So Tiatia is on the forward move as he struggles his way through a couple of tackles.
Play at 8! I called 3 times to play at number 8. What? Against you. Number 20 Hurricanes, Bloodburn player back.
Filo Tiatia getting those yards that the Highlanders won't want him to be getting. He's getting in behind the advantage line. But on that occasion, I don't think his support was there, and he didn't release the ball.
Well, with just a minute to go to half-time, I'm sure with the territory advantage we saw just a moment ago, 60-40 in favour of the Highlanders, that Bull Allen and co would be quite happy with the situation, just 1 point behind, of course, this kick to come. But they're hanging in there, and the longer they do, the more they take the crowd out of play, the atmosphere out of play, and the more chance they've got of pinching this.
An 8-2 penalty count against the Hurricanes in the first half as Tony Brown lines it up from a long way out. Not a bad looking kick, just under.
Yes, he's kicking into a slight breeze there, so he probably timed it as well as he's going to. He's not known for being a long-range goal kicker. Certainly his timing was very good there.
Again, they go with a long kick down as far as Brown. Cullen waiting, outside his 22. Away for Umaga. Well, this is a bit dangerous. The ball's been lost. Now Stanley. Down on the tackle of Cullen. Callagher. Leslie, they've got a chance here, but they've lost it forward. It's offside though.
Well, it was on to go wide here, and hard to pass the ball quickly in the slippery conditions. Brown taking in, Leslie realising it was on, but just not being able to distribute it properly. And I think O'Halloran was the man adjudged offside.
Well, there's plenty for Frank Oliver to think about at half-time. A 9-2 penalty count. And this is much easier for Tony Brown. Joe Stanley's made the trip down from Auckland to watch son Jeremy play. He seems to have knitted him well to the Highlanders setup.
Oh, he has. He's acquitted himself well. Team member off the field as well.
Right on the stroke of half-time, Tony Brown puts it through. And that is the end of the first 40 minutes of this game at Carisbrook. And it's 12 points to 8. The Otago Highlanders, the only try scored by Christian Cullen, but Tony Brown has kicked 3 penalties and a drop goal to give them the advantage at half-time. Half-time at Carisbrook, and the match facts reveal that the Highlanders have had 2-1 territory in the first half, and that's the way you probably saw it too, Greg.
That's right, Grant. And the other interesting thing is 9 penalties conceded to 2, and the reason for that is because of the rucks and the mauls. 25-14 to the Highlanders, and the Hurricanes have had to infringe to try and get that ball back. And so 12-8 is a fair indication of how that first half went.
Referee Paul Honus says let's go in the second half at Carisbrook. 12 points to 8 the Highlanders as Anton Oliver comes up with the first take. Another strong first half for Oliver as Callagher makes the kick down as far as Tiatia. Fingertip take. He's also going to kick. Returns it down to Brown standing inside his 22. And not a good kick again from Tony Brown. So the first little contest goes to the Hurricanes.
I think you'll see a lot more kicking from Tony Brown here in the first half, in the second half. Not happy with himself there, but he will play the win. There is still a breeze, slight breeze in favour of the Highlanders, and they'll look to play into the Hurricanes half.
Norm Hewitt looking towards Martin Leslie at the back, brings it down easily. Hurricanes forwards making a good start here. Inside the 22 they go through Bull Allen. 20 metres out Preston. Across the face of Tiatia to Holwell. Holwell again to Iramia. A big defence again by the Highlanders. And they've stolen the ball away from Iramia. And Brown makes the clearance. Talia having to get back smartly. Wilson's flying. And the ball's out.
Yes, big tackle here. Tony Brown, John Leslie and Josh Kronfeld. And the ball was stolen there by Josh Kronfeld. And then look at the contest, Talia and Wilson. And the ball goes into touch.
No interference, guys, no interference.
Terrific work in the tackle by Josh Kronfeld. Now it's taken down by Brendan Timmins, and it's time for the Highlanders to have a go at the Hurricanes pack. They've got some momentum going.
Get off him, get off him! No, it wasn't! It's on the deck! It's on the deck! Too many referees, get up and shut up!
Boy, there are a lot of referees out there, aren't there?
He's not a happy man, referee Paul Honus, at the moment. There's a fair bit of talk out there, and it happens in conditions like this. The players get a little frustrated, but good play from the Highlanders, taking on the Hurricanes at their game, taking them up the middle.
No, it's all right, they're right there.
Case Mears on this side is wearing jersey number 25. So keep that in mind. Anglesey on Middleton. That really did break down rather badly behind the Highlanders. Now here's Gordon Slater smashing into Tony Brown. Carried on by Hewitt, almost to the halfway line. The Hurricanes now moving forward. Holwell, lapse of concentration. did well to rip it away from Brown.
Here it is. Hold there, hold there.
And they've somehow managed to salvage this,
On
the Hurricanes.
Side. 7, get out.
Preston for Cullen.
Yeah, he's on, he's on.
Belts it back towards Wilson's wing. Talia and Wilson. Oh, there's the greasy ball.
Lost forward.
Yes, Jeff Wilson trying to take Talia on. Talia just getting his hand around the ball, and it is slippery, and it went loose.
Wait for the calls. Ready, gauge.
It's a tough contest, this one. A lot at stake. Tiatia feeds Preston. Holwell looking for O'Halloran.
Here it is. Hold back.
Very difficult for both sides here to make a clean break. The defence has been so strong. Preston, Holwell again.
Yep, wing is on.
This one's for Umaga. Laney's read it well, though. Very good on his feet, Brendan Laney. Down to Cullen. Tipped it back. Now there's nobody home here at all. Wilson having to get back. Talia's flying. Wilson's got the pace, though. And Wilson and Stanley together. But they were all looking at each other for a moment.
Yes, it was good play there by Christian Cullen. He kicked it, and you can see Case Muse there giving it everything he's got, but he really wasn't in the race. And here comes Stanley, here comes Wilson, and it's Wilson that wins the race.
Charged by Norm Hewitt, but you can't charge over the line.
Yep, that's better. Cross the line that time.
David Holwell waiting back, 10-metre line in Hurricanes territory. Tana Umaga looking to get up steam.
Play at 14, play
Smashed his way through a couple.
Get out, 7! No, you slowed it down too much, Blue. 7 offside. Easy, easy.
Well, the plaintive cry there of Josh Kronfeld. Oh, ref.
Yes, certainly Josh Kronfeld was adjudged to slow the play down, and referee Honus penalised him for it. Highlanders have got to be very, very careful that they don't give the ball away to players like Umaga. Yes, they have to kick the ball, they have to get into the opposition territory, but they also need to try and maintain possession as much as possible. So giving it away is fine, you've got to try and contest to get it back.
Little chat actually with Mr. Honus during the break. We were both under the stand taking shelter. He said, I think you've got an easier job than me. I actually think he's quite right at the moment, the way he's getting on with everybody. But I think you did right, Greg, on the conditions. Playing the game or making the mistakes down their end of the field is a lot safer option.
Won't have the distance. Similar kick to the one we saw from Tony Brown.
You'll see David Holwell, all concentration. His foot's on the angle in the slippery conditions, and obviously there's no power out of that.
Advantage for the Highlanders here as Randall takes it to the setup. Gallagher, the replacement player for Rhys Duggan. Jabbed ahead, clever looking kick. Talia waits for the bounce. Ball lost forward by the Highlanders. Now there's a chance for Umaga.
First of all, was here by Blue, no advantage.
But a long advantage.
No advantage.
Yes, they,
Paul Hannes.
good advantage though, Grant. There was an opportunity for them, but he took the first infringement, so good play by Honus.
Hey, yep, just wait for the calls. No locks in yet. Ready, gauge.
Tiatia goes on the blind side. Again gets his way through a couple of tackles. Feeding O'Halloran inside the 22. Preston waits.
No, play on.
Play on, says the referee.
Let it come, yellow 5.
Highlanders can take advantage of this. Leslie chased across. And then the pass is not too flash. Stanley manages to get it. And they take him across the touchline.
Yes, John Leslie was disappointed with himself there. The opportunity was there. Brown, nice distribution. Was on to give it to Alatini, and it just couldn't quite get him. Although Umaga, he did his job by staying in between, making it hard for Leslie.
Move down, Blue.
Blue. 4-8-6-1. Natal.
Alama Iramia against Peter Alatini. Hewitt finding Glenn Taylor, ripped away by Paul Allen. 10-metre line, Highlanders territory. Now Holwell. Good little thrust by David Holwell.
Play it, get off, get off.
Ball there for Preston. Iramia, O'Halloran finding Umaga. Good front up tackle by Brown. It might have hurt, but he made it. Now they're inside the 22, the Hurricanes. Preston delivers away for Iramia. Filo Tiatia in midfield. Cullen slipping away as we know he can do.
Hands off, Blue.
And that's accidentally offside with Glenn Taylor leading the way. And Paul Allen couldn't get him out of the road.
Yeah, good defence there by the Highlanders. Tony Brown in amongst that, making the tackles. Cullen running there. Brown tries to get him. He couldn't quite get him there, but Callow finished him off.
Wait there. Ready? Engage.
Randall gets it over the 22.
Play on, went backwards.
Callaghan in a bit of trouble.
No advantage. Number 8, you are deliberately slowing the ball down the tackle. Back it off, 5. You're slowing the ball down the tackle. I want the hands.
Well, the
removed
Highlanders
so
will be keen to get out of their half, Grant. They've spent most of the start of the second half in their own territory. They've got a slight breeze, as I said, behind them. But they've got to make sure that they actually play it right down there in the Hurricanes' half.
Yes, the team playing into the win so far, Greg, has seemed to have had the territorial advantage in this game.
Without saying too much about Wellington and the win there, but the Hurricanes side are very good at playing into the breeze, aren't they? Although it's not much of a win today, they are very good at maintaining possession.
Yeah, fair comment. Dragged down by John Blakey. The Hurricanes getting themselves a bit more territorial in possession now since half-time. Good work here by the Highlanders forwards. Stanley has the ball knocked away, and he's lost it.
Forward.
Well, that high impact with a greasy ball quite often now finishes up as a knock-on.
Yes, well, Jeremy Stanley's a hard runner, but he also runs into a very, very strong tackler in the former Filo Tiatia. Slippery ball, jolts loose.
Engage. Hands up, props, hands up.
Preston jabbing the kick forward for Umaga.
Yeah, John Preston probably won't be overly happy with himself there. He had possession and tried to just put it in the open space, but the ball breaking right and going into touch.
Have the gap, have the gap. In the middle, buddy. Hold there.
John Blakey waiting for the throw. They don't judge it too well, but it falls nicely for Callaghan. Tipped on by Brown for Leslie. Umaga's dropping back. Remember, Umaga had a season as a fullback, so he's quite used to staying back. Tries to fire it back in field, but he's already in touch.
Yeah, good play by John Leslie, getting it deep over Umaga's head that time, and now they have an opportunity in the Hurricanes half, but a good matchup between Umaga and Stanley there. Stanley pulling off a good tackle.
Feeding the back of the line out here, the Highlanders. Oliver providing some good leg drive here. Slips it away. This is lovely stuff.
Keep it up, yellow.
Over the 22 they go.
Advantage.
Now Callaghan.
Offside as well.
Brown. Referee was playing an advantage.
Offside. Thank you. Back it up.
Well, that's outstanding play there by the Highlanders forward. Going forward, you can see out there, looks like Talia was certainly offside. Referee Honus saw him, but he was there. He was caught. That man there caught him. But the reason why he's offside was that outstanding forward drive by the Highlanders.
Yes, that was brilliant control by the Highlanders forwards. Oliver had it for a while, but he slipped at the man beside him, and they must have marched to 20 metres easily. Smithy.
Interesting, isn't it, fellas, that we saw the territory breakdown before, but it's been a game played between the two 22s because there's been only the one try, that from broken play. It's just a seesawing battle in that middle part of the field without really either goal line being threatened too often.
Here's Tony Brown.
Looks good.
That's his 4th penalty goal. 15 points to 8.
Yeah, you're right, Smithy. I think the important ball in wet conditions are the possession inside the opposition 22. It's hard to break out in wet, slippery conditions. The teams are trying to get there through the kick. The kick hasn't been accurate, and you're right, a lot of the play has been sort of in that 50-50 area.
Holwell goes with a long kick. Down to Kronfeld, off to Oliver.
Hands off, yellow.
Gallagher to Brown. They've worked this well. And Brown gets a very good distance here. What an excellent kick. It's out, even though Christian Cullen's tried to keep it in. What a kick from Tony Brown.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for, deep in the Hurricanes half, and Christian Cullen tried to bat it back into the field, but his feet were certainly in touch.
Blue, count it up, Blue, count it up. Yeah. Too many numbers, too many numbers.
This is against the Highlanders. They've got too many players in the line-out.
They retired 2 away, you didn't. Too many numbers. On the 15, free kick, free kick. Yeah, you are. Here's your mark here. Kick it straight down. Yep, there you go.
Just checking the laws there. David Holwell can kick it straight out, he says.
Yeah, I think referee Honus is sort of saying, making the decision pretty quickly whether he was sure or not. He was decisive, and Holwell quite right to ask him.
Stay there, please.
I think what he was really trying to work out was whether they get the throw in again, the Hurricanes, but of course they don't. It's only a free kick.
That's right.
Get out, 5. Thank you, thank you. Get out, 5. Back, 1 back.
Now it's there for Gallagher. To Brown. Leslie.
Here it is. Come on, guys. Watch
They've
the
got it
feet
back.
too.
Gallagher again for Brown.
Thank you.
Nice kick again. Here's Wilson flying up on Talia. That's a clever kick by Brown once more.
Yeah, that's the ideal kick, that one. Just stopping short of the touchline. Talia under pressure. Tony Brown's out on the grandstand side, sees it's open on the terrace side, and it just stops Talia under pressure, takes it into touch. Highlanders line out. Yeah, well done by Talia. But now the Highlanders have a royal opportunity.
Looking down the back for Randall.
Get out, 4.
Looking for forward momentum here, the Highlanders. They haven't got it yet. Now they have.
Play it 2.
Oliver frees it up. Brown, Leslie can't hang on. Pat to head.
Advantage over.
Laney and O'Halloran. And Christian Cullen, I think he's knocked it on. He has.
Well, that was a good speculator by Brendan Laney. It goes loose here. There was a knock on. Referee said advantage. At this stage, he said it was over. Very good speculator. And Christian Cullen, yes, hard to tell who went forward there. Touch judge called it forward.
Screwing, guys. Let's hit and hold, fellas. Let's hit and hold. Break up. Hit and hold, okay? Hit and hold. Wait up. Ready? Go.
20 metres out from the line. Scrum under pressure. Gallagher. Brown. Alatini.
Did it come?
There again for Gallagher. Brown with a drop kick. Charge, they're all onside.
No, we're getting it.
Gallagher goes again. Middleton waits. And he lost it forwards.
Yeah, some frustration creeping into the players out there at the present time, but Highlanders trying their best. The ball's greasy, the defence is strong, and a lot of that ball's going to ground.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, here's your half now. Sorry, guys. Ready? Engage. Stay on 6, Blue. Yep, he's on.
Preston for Holwell. Ball sitting up. It's still in. No, it's out now. Well, how's that front row battle going, Greg?
Well, just obviously at times it's the Hurricanes are getting a little bit of ascendancy in that front row, but generally the Highlanders have done well. They're obviously up against an all-black front row. Only a couple of occasions has their concentration slipped, and the Hurricanes have just been able to get that shunt on.
Replacement halfback Byron Kelleher, tipped by Randall. Kelleher gets it, but it's gone to no one in particular. Wilson has to field it. He's closed down by Barrett. Stanley is just on his own side of halfway. Kelleher's got it again. Now Brown. He's thumped in the tackle. It's a tough game, this one. Now Leslie. And that's a good push forward by John Leslie. Umaga having to get back. And Wilson's turned up on the other one.
Yeah, that's good play there again by John Leslie. Probably would have liked that one to stay in. And Wilson to take Umaga out of play. But Umaga going back, you'll see the flying Wilson coming in here. And the ball just goes over the touchline.
Coming up to the halfway point in the second spell. Still just the one try scored in the match. Tipped on the Highlanders side. It's there for Taine Randall. So now Keller. Brown standing ready. Looks in field for Stanley. Stolen away by the Hurricanes by the looks of things. No, it's not. Back it comes for Brown. Leslie with a drop kick.
No, we're backwards.
Martin Leslie tried to pick it up. He lost it forward. Now there's another kick.
No, knock on. What's got here, Blue?
Well, just how difficult are those conditions?
Yeah, well, we've seen a few drop kicks in this game, but this one from John Leslie wasn't his best, was it? It went along the ground, and there was a knock on there. Highlanders have a great opportunity with Laney and Wilson down the blind side.
Sending players to the right. Brown, Laney, pass to Wilson's no good.
Yeah, wasn't forward.
Yeah, there's an opportunity here. It was a bit static, the ball, but the ball slips again out of Brendan Laney's hand, and he's disappointed. Runs into the corner and hits the corner flag.
Kevin Barrett. Brief period off the field in the first half. There's a lot being said about the texture of these balls. When they get wet, they are difficult to hang on to.
Well, they don't absorb the water, so they don't get heavy, but at times they can get very slippery.
Played by Barrett for the Hurricanes. Backed onto their own goal line. They're making some ground.
Keep it moving. That's it, the ball's over. Hands off too. Back.
There it is now for Preston. Holwell's deep. Wilson waits. And that's a nasty bounce for Jeff Wilson. Boy, this is not a bad looking kick. Brings it out. He's got Cullen in support. Umaga's out further. Cullen flicks it to Umaga. Looking for somebody inside. Finding Tiatia. 10-metre line Hurricanes territory. First real chance for the Hurricanes in the second half to stretch the legs in space.
Yes, but I think David Holwell may have delivered his pass slightly too early to Christian Cullen. Here we go, Cullen, the in pass to Umaga. But the defence from the Highlanders was good. There was desperation there, and Kronfeld turned up to kill the ball.
Preston sets them alight again. Holwell straight across to Iramia on that favoured left boot, but it's an ill-directed kick. Laney returns it smartly. Cullen trying to keep his hands out of the road.
Yeah, Cullen here just trying to do the trap the ball, but not able to do it, and just finding touch.
Change coming up here, and Leo Falanico is on for the Highlanders. Brendan Timmins is the man who's left. Randall's done some excellent work in the lineouts. They've done this facet of the game extremely well, the Highlanders.
Through the middle. You've got to use it now, Blue. You've got to use it now, Blue. Okay, the ball's gone.
Well, they were told they had to use it, or they were going to lose it. Now, Kronfeld takes it in again.
Hands off, yellow.
Callagher. Awkward for Brown. Snapped up by Fino Marker, so there's a new man there too for the Hurricanes.
Get off him.
Now, Preston. Marker again.
19.
Preston to Holwell. O'Halloran. Cullen. Oh, boy. Smashing tackle.
Hold there.
It's there again, though, for Preston. Umaga. Pops it up again for Marker. This time he can't hang on. And the ball on the side of the Highlanders. Brown. Leslie with the kick. And he'll go back for the penalty. It was against Glenn Taylor.
Well, look at this tackle here coming up from Jeremy Stanley on Christian Cullen. That's a big hit. Looks as though Jeremy Stanley may have hurt his ankle or something in that movement. Bit sore, but that just epitomises the intensity of this match. And as I said before, it hasn't been pretty, but there's certainly been some strong defence and some equally strong attack.
5 yellow, substitution.
Penalty count 4-1 against the Hurricanes. And Glenn Taylor, as we look at Christian Cullen, is off the field to be replaced by Dion Waller. John Blakey with the clean take for the Highlanders. Now Callagher.
Here it is, here it is.
Stanley runs into Marker.
Hold there.
Now Brown to Leslie. Nothing much happening in midfield today. It's been very, very tight. Brown again. Looks for Alatini. Driving him back in the tackle as well. Ripped away, though, by Barrett. Eremia's hands. And this was a knock-on by Lama Eremia.
Well, Grant, you mentioned that the midfield has been pretty rock solid. I think it comes about because of the forwards. Neither side has really got the dominance. And so, therefore, the opposition backs are pretty static in most phases. And therefore, the organisation's been solid from both sides.
Hold there, Ben.
Callagher. Brown. Big test here on Umaga. It's a tough one for him. He made it into touch. What a brilliant kick.
Well, the adage is, though, the kick's only as good as the chase. And look at the chase here from Jeremy Stanley. Umaga thought he could get in field. Stanley stayed with him and put him out in the corner.
Oliver with a very important throw. Blakey. Not contested by the Hurricanes. Try given. Leo Falanico, the replacement.
Well, the combination worked, didn't it? Anton Oliver, John Blakey. John Blakey had a go, wasn't on. Leo Falanico with the headgear got in there. The shunt came on. And he's down. Referee Honus in excellent position.
Straight through the middle went Leo Falanico for his second try of the season.
Well, in difficult conditions today, Tony Brown has kicked 80% of his goals. And no doubt he'll want to land this one from the grandstand side. Leo Falanico there, a happy man. A timely try for the Highlanders.
Beautiful.
Highlanders scored by number 20, Leo Falanico. Converted by number 10, Tony Brown.
Yeah, here it is, a good forward drive here. Going in, Falanico there, Hoff celebrates. Timely try.
Just a quick substitution again, Nisbo. Polati File's on for Jeremy Stanley. Has the left ankle problem for him.
Hold it there. Thank you.
Controlled here by the Highlanders. 14-point advantage. Kelleher's done an outstanding job since he came on. Again, driving the Hurricanes back. Cullen, you'll have to try and open it up. Chased by Kronfeld. Keeps it low. Laney running into the picture. And that's clever thinking too, as long as it bounces. Oh, well done.
Yeah, it is clever thinking, Grant. It's kicking for space. Cullen did it. There we see Jeremy Stanley there with an ankle problem. He's had an ankle problem in the past. But it is good play. It's kicking to space, putting the pressure on, and the Hurricanes will need to get out of this part of the ground. Easy for the Highlanders from here.
The Highlanders have trapped the Hurricanes in the last 15 minutes or so, near their own line. Preston. Wilson with the catch on the 10-metre line. More pressure. Holwell wants it. And he's knocked it on too.
Well, that's a vital mistake, isn't it? Just what the Hurricanes didn't want. Holwell not quite underneath the ball, propelling forward. And an ideal opportunity. We may see Taine Randall from this position go. He's very fast off the back. If they get a steady scrum, he may go.
Randall wants the big shove.
No, it's gone, fellas, it's gone. Try and keep it square, guys. Try and keep it square. Back over the mark. Come on, arms up.
Taine Randall coming through this game with flying colours. Only 10 minutes out.
Yes, he's done well, hasn't he?
Leave him, yellow one!
Now he hands it back, Kelleher. He knocks it on. Well, it's been a messy old game. The greasy ball.
Yeah, it has been messy. There's been intensity, though, Grant, hasn't there? There's been intensity in the defence and obviously the situation of the game. Both these sides are desperate to advance their claims further into the semi-finals.
Wait up, no mark. Wait up, wait till I get out of here. Ready? Gauge. Hold it.
Still the Hurricanes back onto their own line. Preston looking to break it out again.
Thank you.
20 metres away. Back for Cullen. Eremia looking to get on the outside of Alatini. Can't quite do it.
Hold there. Ball's there.
Leslie quickly across.
Thank you.
Marker fires it on. Tiatia. Hewitt. There's some big fellows out here. Tipped down by Wilson.
Yeah, here we go. Good hands there from Cullen. Big Norm trying to do the job here, but Jeff Wilson saving the day. Alatini's a bit of an unsung hero in this Highlanders back line. Had a very good 98 campaign, and he's fitted in well with John Leslie there in the midfield, both on attack and defence.
Waller has the tack for the Hurricanes. Under 10 minutes left. 14-point advantage. for the Highlanders. Holwell, just out from the 22. Snapped up by Iramia, who's coming to join the action. Now Gordon Slater. Up to Allen. Better stuff here from the Hurricanes. Tiatia's a bit isolated on the far side. So Preston feeds it away to Holwell. And he's copped a high one.
Hold it. Wait, back off. Let's go.
Another 10 metres taken. Tiatia wants it. Another thumping run by Filo Tiatia.
Okay, sweet.
Finau Mark is also a powerful runner.
Get off him!
They've taken this about 50 metres upfield. Holwell now for O'Halloran, having a go at the defence, smashing his way through too. Talia's in there, 22-metre line. Good sequence here from the Hurricanes.
Get out, 20!
Just away again for Tiatia.
Hands off!
Always takes 2 or 3 to drag him down. Preston, change of direction. Holwell. Got badly isolated.
Hands!
Now, what's the call here from Bull Allen?
Leave off.
Well, I think they've done well keeping the ball in hand. If I was Bull Allen, I would certainly look to keep that ball in hand, taking it up the middle. And you mentioned before, Grant, Filo Tiatia, outstanding, hasn't he, on the charge, and he's been able to break the line.
Right, set move, Hewitt to Holwell.
Hands off, let it come, Blue. Back off, 20, back off.
Cullen goes into first 5-8, fires it to O'Halloran, back to Cullen, ghosting his way across field. Alatini makes the tackle on him though. So Preston. O'Halloran again. Ball knocked back, tidied up by Waller.
That's it. He was the original player.
Now it's on the Highlanders side. Away goes Kronfeld. And he's kicked it away on the full, Josh Kronfeld.
Substitution now for goal. Yeah, do it now, buddy. Yeah, do it now.
Well, Josh Kronfeld showing that he's prepared to have a kick, just didn't execute it well. But the defence from the Highlanders again, Holwell's coming off. And the defence certainly been outstanding from the Highlanders.
Craig Oliver's made a substitution. He's brought Jared Cunningham in to first 5-8 instead of David Holwell. Preston again away for Cullen. They've tidied him up effectively today. Christian Cullen.
No, the hands. Ruck was formed. Hands were used after ruck was formed.
Quickly taken by Preston.
Back. Take it in front of me, not behind me. Back.
Jared Cunningham.
Walk him off the shoulder. Walk him off. Thank you.
Back to Preston. O'Halloran. Flicks it away, and clearing kick is not the best from Alatini, but it'll do.
Yes, we've seen a few kicks slide off the foot today. I just think it's a little bit of composure required in those pressure situations. But the Highlanders will be happy at soaking up time, putting the ball out, keeping it away from the Hurricanes.
It's just a try each in this game. Leslie, Preston, straight to O'Halloran. Cunningham gets a touch. Out to Umaga. Back for Cullen. Cullen looking for somebody. Nobody there though.
Yes, not really attacking the back line, were they, the Hurricanes? They looked to be running across the field a little bit. Palati Fili on his man there. Cullen having a go. Leslie had him covered. Not quite straight enough, not running at the opposition.
He scored the only try for the Hurricanes. Christian Cullen. Number 5 is John Blakey.
Collapsing it.
And that's against the Hurricanes.
Yes, please.
And their thoughts now will be turning perhaps towards a converted try for a bonus point.
Well, we saw a game this morning, the Golden Cats and the Chiefs, and it looked as though the Chiefs were well and truly out of it. So anything's can happen in this game. Different situation, different circumstances, slippery ball, hard to attack. But you're right, Grant. I think the Hurricanes are looking for that 7 points just to get themselves a bonus point.
Certainly hasn't been the game we expected in terms of a spectacle, but conditions have dictated that, which is a shame, really. There's some brilliant players on the park. Here's Brown, back again for Umaga and Cullen. So now, oh dear, Umaga's lost this forward.
Lost forward.
Well, the composure's really gone from the Hurricanes at the moment. It's not easy back there, but first there's a bit of a fumble from Cullen, and then Umaga looks to, I'm not quite sure what he looked to do there, but the ball certainly went loose.
No halfback, guys. No halfback. No. Hey.
Golden opportunity
Guys, yeah, it's okay.
for the Highlanders to put this beyond doubt.
Ready? Engage. Screwed, fellas. Screwed. Screwed.
Well, that's a better scrum there from the Hurricanes. The Highlanders will want to concentrate. They've been pretty efficient in this department, but just on the odd occasion, the Hurricanes have got a little bit of a shunt.
Ready? Engage.
Randall off the back. Kelleher's in. Another replacement player, Byron Kelleher.
Well, that was a better scrum there. Good pass from Randall. Kelleher, determination, scored the try. Look at Kelleher here. Look at the look of determination there. He's a runner, and he scored a very good try.
Brown grabs the extra 2, and this is convincing. 29 points to 8.
Well, when they lost Rhys Duggan, they obviously lost a valuable player, but conditions like this, Kelleher is a very, very good footballer. He's a hard runner, and he's a strong defender.
Cunningham with the kick-outs, with about a minute left. And this time it's a knock-on by Byron Kelleher, and the referee says one more scrum.
It was interesting after that, that scrum broke up, the try was scored. Both front rows were talking to each other, saying a few things. So there's obviously a war of words there at the moment.
Now Preston. O'Halloran feeding Tiatia, who's kept running all day. Now it's up for Marker.
Get off him, mate.
Preston to Cunningham, Uramia.
Yeah.
He runs into a solid tackle from Falanico. So Preston goes again. Fires it back inside to Allen.
Get off him. That's it. You're all right. There's no offsides. No offsides.
And the ball
Here
is,
it comes. Hands off.
I think, on the Highlanders side here. And they'll want to get it out quickly and bring the end of the game, which they'll do. Wilson's flying. Talia, what control from Talia. And out they go, and that's the game. Convincing victory in the end for the Highlanders. They scored 2 tries to 1 and won the game at Carisbrook by 29 points to 8.
The Umaga Rugby Union